Okay, so this week is garlic harvesting week. There have been a couple of days of a little bit of rain, so the soil's maybe a little bit wet. So I'm gonna give it one day before I yank these out. Probably tomorrow is gonna be the big garlic harvesting day. And so today, in the meantime, I'm gonna get out here and harvest some other things for selling on Friday. And so that's the plan. 2 beds of Georgian Fire and 2 beds of Georgian Crystal. I've got, 1, 2, 3 dead leaves. Or is it 4? At least 1, 2, 3 dead leaves on these plants. I'm gonna start over here with the sugar snap peas. Not so many peas this week from bed Northeast 1. Okay, I got a little bit more out of this later planting, bed Northeast 2. 11 1-pound bags of sugar snap peas. Okay, dudes, on to lettuce mix. I'm starting with this bed here, where last week I harvested a couple of rows of Mizuna. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. It's growing back. But I left this row here because it was a little small, and the spinach, it is bolting, but it is harvestable. So I'm gonna get the 2 rows of spinach and the last row of Mizuna. I've got a little tub of Mizuna and spinach. Pretty. And I've got the next batch growing. Okie dokie, what I'm gonna do with this patch back here, since it's done. It's got tons of weeds in it. I'm gonna yank out the hoops and bring the row cover over these guys here, this next batch, and then let this grow up a little bit so I've got a handhold, because I'm gonna just have to hand yank out all these weeds and crop. So that's kind of the plan with this. Baby chard bed here. Been eyeballing this, and this new patch of baby chard isn't quite ready. Needs a little bit more time. So maybe I should go ahead and get this leaf right here at the end. I've got this little 5-foot patch, and there's a little bit of leaf in there. Kind of funny. I was cutting the leaf and this crane fly flew out and landed there. He's just been kind of sitting there staring at me. I'm gonna spend just a little bit more time, get the rest of the doodads for the lettuce mix. I'm gonna get this little patch of orach here at the bed end, and this little patch here. A little bit of orach. Keeping the raspberry plants trimmed down, I guess. Hi, Bunny. Do they follow Mama, or they just keep eating raspberries? Oh, they're eating the weeds too. Oh, so good. Look at all the red raspberries just coming on. Okay, folks, a change of plans. I'm going to be flying out of here tomorrow afternoon, so I am focusing on, my nose is so shiny. I'm focusing on freezing everything. I'm gonna start with this bed of kale and get enough for kale to eat until I have more kale in the spring next year. I have kale growing in the garden about May through October available to eat. And so I need frozen kale the other 6 months. So 4 weeks per month, I need 24 weeks worth. I eat about 1 bunch of kale about 4 times per week, and that's an 8-ounce bunch. So 24 weeks times 4 times per week, 96. That's the bunches, which are 8 ounces, so divide by 2 to get pounds. I need about 48 pounds. If each bag is about 10 pounds, I need approximately 5 bags of frozen kale. Okay, so I'm double checking the weight of the kale that I had frozen from last year, and they are about 10-pound bags. 3 10-pound bags of frozen kale from last year. These guys are getting composted. Making room for the fresh stuff. First tub of kale. Kale tub 2. Third tub of kale. Kale 4th tub. Last partial tub of kale. I've got this whole bed of kale stripped down. These should keep growing if they don't outgrow the hoops. I got 5-pound tubs, and so that's about 25 pounds, which is half of what I need. I've got another partial bed of dazzling blue kale over here, which I'll get next. Before I hit the next patch of kale, I'm gonna come in here and snip as much of this basil as possible. I'm gonna leave the plants intact so they keep growing. But yeah, I'm gonna attempt freezing basil for the first time too. 1 full tub from this bed. First tub of basil. Another beautiful tub of basil. Second tub of basil. Okay, I'm on to the last partial bed of dazzling blue kale. And the little white truck and I are going to do a job together. I'm gonna clip these plants off down at the base and load up in the truck, and then I'm going to smash them into bags later. So this is the bed I got. Lacinato kale, Lacinato Toscana kale, and this is the Lacinato dazzling blue kale in this batch here. And then there's collard greens in the back, which are kind of bolting to seed, some of them, but I'm probably just gonna leave them. More spotted cutworms hanging out on the bok choy plants. I ended up clipping these kale not right at the base because it was almost like a tree trunk. I couldn't get the clippers to go through, so I can always try and saw them off later. But these are my collard greens. They're still going. And I've got a truckload of kale. Oh boy. Okay, I've got these all packed up. I ended up with 4 approximately 10-pound bags, and I already had this one which is 7 pounds, so I've almost got the 50 pounds that I need. That's good enough. Okay, so I destemmed all of the basil, put them in plastic bags, pressed the air out, and sealed them. 43 2-ounce bags plus 1 fresh 1-ounce bag. Oakley dokley, so I've got my box of basil stashed there next to my kale, and I've got a tub and a bit of carrots from last season that I need to dump, but I'll do that later on. What do we got in here? Oh, that's right, garlic scapes. Okay, I'm gonna get a little tiny bit, 1 tub of lettuce to mix with all the little doodads that I harvested yesterday. This is my first, second, third, 4th planting of lettuce that I've harvested once, and so this is regrowth. Looks like my shadow is gonna be following me around here. So this could be cut. And this is then the 5th and 6th planting of lettuce. I've got 1 part of that bed cut already, and I've got monstrous growth of green back there. This is the patch I harvested last week. So I think though what I'm gonna do then is just get this patch here this is pretty big, and some of this red, right? I'll just kind of keep going here. Okay, so I've just got a handful of red and a few green. I just want to get a little bit of lettuce mix for Tyler. I've been harvesting out of this bed of yaya carrots, and I've just got a little tiny bit. Okay, I got the last of the carrots. That last patch of carrots, 13 pounds. And I've got 4 green onions. 4 green onions. Over here in the other greenhouse, I would say this basil is about ready to pick, but I'm just gonna let it grow bigger. Hi guys. And zucchini plants, they just need to get yanked out. They produced some little tiny zucchinis. A lot of them just kind of rotted. I was having to cut back leaves because can't walk in here with these big old plants. But it was a lot of fun growing the squash. I've never grown squash before. Everybody cleared out and weeded. Okay, so I'm gonna wash up that lettuce, and Tyler's gonna get the garlic harvested. I did a short video where I tasted the 2 garlic varieties, the Georgian Fire and the Georgian Crystal. And this time I tasted it raw and I roasted it and tried to see if I could tell the difference between the flavors. And so I will put that video out next week. I will see you guys then.